That is a multiplication. That's why it says absolute zero, because it means multiplier. Those are all right. Ranks of scores in a tournament. So first place, second place, third place. That's ordinal. Eye color. Nominal. I put some other examples here as well. I didn't think the notes had enough. Gender. Contrary to what some people believe, gender is nominal. They are not ranked. Male and female are equal. Grades in the class. So A, B, C, D. That is ordinal. Because you get quarter, yeah. Interval, I gave the example. Temperature, ratio, I gave the examples and stuff. When you do these for your homework, get it right, get similar question. Get it right, get similar question. Get it right, get similar question. You don't want to just do these once. You want to see enough. And I'll be honest with you, you get similar question enough times, you'll see every single possible answer, so you'll know the answer in the present. I had a student do that once. He used to spend 14 hours a week in the math lab. I'm not kidding. But he worked every single problem like 15 times. He's like, well, when I came to test it, I just knew all the answers. You put in the time? Good for you. All right, years of elections. So these are numbers, so this is either interval or ratio. Interval. All right. Now we come to our big problems. My daughter had warts, and so many people have told her that she should put duct tape on. And I'm like, you guys talk about that in my statistics class. I don't think it works. But she don't have any more. All right. A study conducted by researchers was designed to determine if the application of duct tape is effective as cryotherapy. Cryotherapy, if you don't know, is a freezing. In the treatment of common warts. The researchers randomly divided 69 patients into two groups. The 35 patients in group 1 had their warts treated by applying duct tape. The 34 patients in group 2 had their warts treated by cryotherapy. Once the treatments were complete, it was determined that 77% of patients in group 1, was the duct tape, and 94% in group 2 completed the resolution of warts. The researchers concluded that cryotherapy is significantly more effective to treat warts than duct tape. All right, that cryotherapy is going to cost you like $160. Duct tape is going to cost you like $3. What? Yeah, it's not as effective as this stuff. You can also take the stuff that you clean your keyboard. All right. So, what is the research objective? So you have to look at this and figure out, well, the research is, hey, is duct tape as good as cryotherapy? That's the research objective. Next thing, population. Population is everyone that has warts. Because you can't do this experiment with someone who doesn't have warts. So you have to have warts to be part of the population. Sample. Now this sample, sometimes they tell you that there's 69 patients, 150 patients. Sometimes you have to do the simple math of adding group 1 35 with group 2 of 34 and get 69. It depends on the problem. So that's your sample, the 69 people chosen in group 1 and group 2. Descriptive statistics. So this is statistics that you're just describing what happened. Okay? 77% of patients in group 1, this was the duct tape, and 94% in group 2 had resolution of their warts. So they had a reduction in their warts. What is the conclusion of the study? And that just gives you up here, cryotherapy is more effective. You'll get words like more effective, significantly more effective, slightly more effective. You know, if it was like 77 and 80, that's slightly more effective, you know, barely more effective, you know. And so you can see that equally effective, you know, if they're within 1 or 2 percentage points, that's pretty much equal. Just as effective or just as effective. It will never be right. Let's do this one. What's the research objective? Probably the same. Of every tax dollar that goes to federal government, how many cents of each dollar would you say are wasted? And 4 possible responses are less than 10 cents are wasted, 11 to 25 cents are wasted, 26 to 50 cents are wasted, 51 cents or more wasted. Of the 1,060 individuals, 37% indicate that 51 cents or more are wasted. The news said, it was reported that 37% of adults in the country 18 years or older believe the federal government wastes 51 cents or more of each dollar, with a margin of error of 5% and a level of confidence of 99%. So we talked about that level of that confidence interval. It's in that in the definition of statistics. We do that a lot as we get further on the semester. So, research objective. It's determining if the adults say 51 cents or more wasted. Population, because we're talking about adults, it's just the adults 18 years or older. That's the entire population. Because, you know, you wouldn't use like an 8-year-old kid. Hey, how much money do you think is being wasted by the government? What's the sample? The 1,060 that were broken, that were pulled in the survey. Descriptive statistic, 37% say it's wasted. Now this one, previous example was descriptive statistics. This is an inferred statistic because they're making the generalization that 37% of all adults in the country. This is the thing with statistics. They did a sample of 1,000 people, and now they're saying, oh, every adult in the country says 37, of all the adults in the country, 37% of people in the country say it's wasted. They're making that prediction, they're inferring that. They're not just telling that of the people surveyed, they're saying for all adults. And that's the difference between descriptive and inferred statistics. If they're making it, you should have a margin of error. So that 5% margin of error means plus or minus 5%. So, and this level of confidence is 99%, which plus or minus 5% is anywhere between 32 and 43. 32 and 42. So this level of 99% confidence means you do this survey 100 times, and one time it won't fall between that 32 and 42%. But more or less. All right, that's all 1.1. Any questions? What's discrete?
Numerical.
Countable. What's quantitative?
Numerical.
Numerical. What's qualitative?
Words. It's described with words.
An attribute, characteristic, or word. All right, good. All right. A lot in 1.2 are this versus this. So, observational study versus design experiment. Anybody know what a Bobo doll is? You don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure everyone here probably played with one. It's one of those inflatable toys that the bottom is full of rocks or water. You punch it in. Okay? goes down, goes back up. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Did you look up bubble wall?
Yes, it is. Let me see if I can punch you back.
Yeah, it's like an inflatable punching bag. And the bottom is typically full of rocks or water or sand, and it goes down and comes back up. When I was in my behavioral statistics class, we talked about how researchers can affect the outcome of things. And so we watched a video of people doing observational study. So they took a Bobo doll, they put it in a room, and then just watched kids go in and see if they would play with it. They had other toys. Then they took kids and did it as a design experiment, where the kids sat down. They broke them into two groups. The design experiment will always have two groups, a control group and the experimental group. And so the next time they did this study, they broke two kids into, they had two groups. One kid's in to see if they would play with the Bobo doll. And then they had another group of kids who watched a video of how to play with the Bobo doll with hammers and like punching and kicking it. And then they put those kids in the room to see if they would play with it. Which ones do you think played with the Bobo doll more? The ones who learned how to do it, right? Which is why YouTube is so popular, and there's always these kids watching how to play Minecraft before actually playing Minecraft. That's all they do. It drove me crazy when I was little. I was like, why are you watching someone else play a video game? Alright, so design experiments are exactly what it sounds like. They're designed. One does something, one doesn't. Compare the results. Observational study is what it sounds like. You are observing without making an impact. So like if you're a bird watcher, that would be somebody doing an observational study. Oh, what kind of birds come? They're not impacting it. All right. Other two types of studies. These are in relation to time. Retrospective versus prospective. Who's watched Toy Story 2? Who's the villain? Prospector. Alright, what's a prospector? It's someone who goes out and searches for gold. They are looking and moving forward to find something. Alright? Retrospective. It's retro. Everyone should know what retro is, right? Oh, it's retro day. Everybody dressed in the 80s. You know, it's throwback. So there are experiments where it's like, how did this drug affect this individual? So we give people this drug, and over the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, we record that data. There's retrospective studies where it's like, hey, all these people live in this town, and they live where water poisoned them, and let's go and look at how, if they live there their whole life versus live in this town 5 years versus live in this town 10 years. Which one of these are you able to do faster? Looking back, retrospective, all the data is there. You just have to go out and get it. This one takes time. Because you're starting now, and you put your life on hold to record this date. Hopefully you're doing other things. It's like people, I always wanted to do it when I had a kid, like people who take a picture of their kid every day for like 2 years to see what happens. And then, and then you do it all in like 1 minute, and then I'm like, I don't want to waste that time. But that's a prospect. If you did that with your kids, more power to you, right? Someone told me I should do it with my facial hair, but I don't want to waste that much memory on my phone. All right, a study is conducted to determine if there's a relationship between Parkinson's disease and head trauma for children. Doctors look at hospital records. Is this observational study or a designed experiment? Observational. They're not breaking them into two groups. It's the easiest way to tell the difference. All right. Obese adults are broken into two groups. One is given a meal every day and told to do 30, and the other is told to do 30 minutes of cardio a day. That's a design experiment. We're splitting them into two groups. So we have a control group. All right. 50 high school students are divided into two groups. What's that? Yeah. The design experiment. All right, that's it. So we have retrospective, prospective, design experiment, and observational study. Those four are for 1.2. Very quick. All right, let's go ahead and log in and let's do those assignments. Everything is in my lab math except my notes. Is anyone not in Pearson who needs help walking through the process? Excuse me. Have you put the access code into that yet?